This is BottomlineBurke. I'm not going to waste a lot of time. I'm going to get straight to the bottom line. I just finished watching the Western Conference Finals between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the OKC Thunder, who prevailed 114-88. Now in the first quarter, Minnesota Timberwolves forward Julius Randle made 5 out of his 6 3-point shots. After making the 5th attempt, he showed this celebratory exuberance to his teammates and to the crowd, like, y'all better enjoy this now because this is not going to be sustainable. Julius Randle for the Minnesota Timberwolves is normally more comfortable playing the second option on offense. Their first option, superstar guard Anthony Edwards, momentarily was out back in the locker room receiving treatment from an ankle injury he sustained during the first quarter. However, even though he returned quickly, he only showed spurts of his greatness, finishing the game with only a meager 18 points. What was clear to me throughout the game, this upcoming offseason, Anthony Edwards has got to develop a floater and stay clean on offense. What I mean by staying clean is you get that floater up before the defender is able to come rotate to contest the shot. And more importantly, the two benefits of getting a floater up is you stay off the floor, which Anthony Edwards needs to do, and also you don't make any contact with the defender, which again is a great injury prevention move, and you get that ball on the front end of the rim and good things happen as a result. On the other hand, OKC Thunder put on an absolute clinic on offense all game long. Most notably, forward Jalen Williams and also MVP candidate SGA the entire game was creating contact with their defender to create the space to get the mid-range jumper off or to finish at the bucket. So I'll use this water bottle right here. This will be a defender. What they will do is, boom, initiate contact. That little space is all they need to get that shot off. That's what they was doing time and time again throughout the game. And at the bucket in the paint, they was also absorbing the defensive contact to do an and one. That means make the basket and get the foul. That was a masterful job by both Williams as well as SGA. And on defense, they sent the Chat Holmgren, who I already predict will be a Western Conference All-Star within the next 2 years, as well as the gritty, pesty Alex Caruso on defense. He could play on my team any day. The way he was getting after both the bigs as well as making things difficult for Anthony Edwards the entire game is he's going to be a well sought after commodity this upcoming offseason. And finally, I want to give a shout out to the referee crew, who in the third quarter, with 3 minutes and 3 seconds remaining, made a bad call. However, they took the time to review the play and was courageous enough to overturn the initial call to make the right call, which was a non-foul at the time to keep the possession with Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, their superstar was challenged by the head coach after the first game loss in last series against the Denver Nuggets. I'll be interested to see what the conversation will be like after tonight's loss. Anthony Edwards, in this very early stage of the Western Conference Finals, has a tall order of adversity he's going to have to overcome. He's going to have to demonstrate some mental fortitude being hurt, as well as having to compensate on offense because they got absolutely minimal to nothing from their bench. When in reverse on OKC, they got plenty from their bench. They're extremely deep. So how will Anthony Edwards bounce back? Because the growth that SGA has demonstrated this year that resulted in an MVP award is the same type of growth we're all expecting superstar Anthony Edwards to do as well. We'll have to wait and see how he responds in game 2. And that's the bottom line.